Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is Cody Deathblade. Buckle up because it's story time. Today we're going to be talking about the history of boosting and basically how boosting started. But keep in mind that I had quit the game for a long period of time. So I played at the beginning of the game in 2009 and then I quit for like several years. And then by the time I got back on, it was like about 6 months before second age PvP ended. So the only things I know are from 6 months before second age ended to third age PvP. Anything before that I don't really know. So basically what happened was there were 4 ICEs that boosted to the top of the leaderboards. Just literally overnight that they boosted. You know, they were unheard of before, and then literally overnight they became the top 4 duelists on leaderboards. There were 4 Grandmaster ICEs. They were Blaze Icesword, Jared, John Light, the YouTuber, and Luke. So those 4 Grandmaster ICEs, who by the way, because I was friends with Luke, he told me basically everything. So like those 4 ICEs, they all knew each other, so they all knew that they were, it's kind of like colluding with each other. They all knew that they were boosting to get on top of the leaderboards. But at that time, at the end of second age PvP, nobody knew what the fuck boosting was. Nobody knew that it existed or like how you could do it. So like if you had a super high rank, everyone would just be like, oh my god, you know, you're such a PvP god, like you're so good. Like nobody knew that they actually cheated to get there, because you know, boosting was just not something that people knew how to do or knew that it existed. And then fast forward to how I knew boosting. It wasn't because Luke told me. Even though he was my friend, I don't think he ever told me, hey, by the way, I cheated to get there. So what happened is, how I found out. I found out really early. Like I found out about boosting really early. Most people found out really late, but I found it really early because you know, I had some inside connections. So basically, what happened was Jared, who was one of the 4 ICEs who boosted to the top of the leaderboards near the end of second age PvP. Jared was friends with one of my friends. You guys may know her, Sophia Coin. She is also a YouTuber, or she was. So basically, Jared, one of the boosters, was friends with Sophia Coin. I think Jared, honestly, like had a crush on Sophia, like because like I remember like one day like she just poured it to my house and we were just like trying to have a conversation, and then Jared just would not like stop pouring and following her around. Like it was ridiculous. So I think basically what happened was, and I don't really blame him. You know, Sophia has a really cute and beautiful personality, so, and she has a cute voice, so naturally guys are drawn to her. Now nobody's ever even seen her face, but you know, that's her choice whether she wants to show or not. But anyways, so what happened was, because like Jared had a crush on Sophia, I don't think Sophia liked him back, but basically I guess she thought that she could use him, or for, well, I think she thought that, hey, maybe he could teach me how to PvP, he's like one of the best duelists. But what Jared ended up teaching her was not how to PvP, but how to boost, because he didn't PvP to get that rank, he boosted. So Jared ended up teaching Sophia how to boost, and he ended up boosting her. And because I was, you know, good friends with Sophia, I was like, hey, you know, what's going on? I never asked her directly, but in my head, you know, by that time I kind of figured it out. I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing. So yeah, that's how I was personally witnessed boosting. It was at that time. And then what happened was second age leaderboards reset. It became third age. So basically, right after third age PvP started, I myself, like many other top duelists from second age, we scrambled to try to get on top of third age leaderboards. And after a very, very arduous journey, it was very difficult to rank up, because everybody you faced was like, if you were level 50, everybody you faced was another level 50 who also had full Gundaming gear. So, you know, every match was pretty hard. But nevertheless, I broke out of the pack, and that's where my video on how I became #1 on leaderboards came about. It was at near the beginning of third age PvP. So near the beginning of third age PvP, 2 duelists broke out of the pack. It was me, Cody Deathblade, and Angel. So we both had about 2,700 rank, and the third ranked duelist had like 2,500. So it wasn't really close. Basically, we both broke out of the pack, and we were like leading the pack. I was literally the #1 duelist for like a few hours before Angel got back on. I was like, oh shit, you passed me, let me pass you again. The clear supreme reigning top duelist in game is Angel, even till today. You know, he's always held that #1 rank. He's always been, you know, the most legit one who consistently held that top spot. So, you know, the honor of best duelist in game goes to him. That's not really a question. I think anybody who's in the game for a while, who is experienced with the PvP community, knows that Angel is truly the best. But that doesn't stop me from bragging and saying at one time Cody Deathblade, my level 50 death, was #1 on leaderboards, and I recorded a match. It has about 46,000 views and growing. It's probably the #1 most viewed Wizard101 PvP video on YouTube. So you probably knew me from that. So what happened next? So, you know, Angel was #1, I was close behind with #2. We were sitting pretty, you know, everything was good. Everybody was like, oh shit, you know, what a PvP god. Actually, Angel got that treatment. I actually didn't. People actually thought I boosted. I don't know why, but they thought I boosted. My level 50 deck, who literally had 2,700 rank. You know, nowadays, we know better. We look back and we're like, okay, 2,700 rank, that was nothing. But back then, people thought 2,700 rank was high as fuck, and they thought I boosted. Obviously, what they don't know is it's because I was using the relentless aggression strategy, basically half the cards in main deck, and basically just 8 different type of blades that stack. So I ended matches really quickly. So that might have contributed to some suspicion. But it was just all nonsense. It's like the Salem witch trials. You know, it's all nonsense. It's all accusations. Even today, people are being accused, and it's just ridiculous. There's no need to accuse someone unless they have a ridiculous rank or unless you have proof that they boosted. So what happened? We were sitting pretty. What happened? A guy by the name of Charles Whisper, who is a level 50 ice. He had full Glendeming gear, perfect pet, a level 50 ice. He shot up to #1 on leaderboards again, literally overnight. Like overnight. Like one day we're sitting pretty, and the next day we check leaderboards like, oh shit, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? It's not like he was like #7 on leaderboards and he was like in grasping distance. It's not like he was coming up. He came out of nowhere because he boosted. So he was the first major boost in 3rd HPP. If not, I think he might have been the first booster in 3rd HPP. And by that time, more and more people knew like what the fuck boosting is. So Charles definitely got a lot of hate. A lot of people were like, oh, you booster, you suck, you can't PvP, blah blah blah. Eventually Charles ranked down because I think the hate got to him. But yeah, so Charles just boosted up to like 3,400 rank, which is ridiculous. But nowadays it's kind of possible. But back then when critical wasn't fixed, it was definitely impossible to get 3,400 rank. So he boosted up there. And then he had other boosters like Haley Whisper, who also boosted up there. You had Richard Rose, who boosted up there. You had Nicholas Rose, who boosted up there. Literally everyone, like so many people in the Rose clan boosted, and you know it's just a joke of a clan. Everyone says the Whisper clan is a joke, and I think the Rose clan is just as much of a joke because you have the leaders of the clan fucking boosting, and you have so many members boosting. Like I'm pretty sure the clan is dead now, but at one time it was kind of popular, and it was just ridiculous because it was literally, the clan was synonymous with boosting. I don't think people realized that when they made their character named after Rose. Like your clan is synonymous with cheating. What happened after that was, after those level 50 boosted up there, they thought they were sitting pretty. They're like, ha, you know, we're up here, we're the top dogs on the leaderboards. But then what happened was the level 1 boosters came, the level 10 boosters came, and they shot up the leaderboards with even more ridiculous rank, like 4,000, 5,000 rank, just ridiculous rank. Because it's a lot easier to boost a level 1 or a level 10. Because to boost a level 50, you need to have, well, this is strictly speaking with one-on-one, 1v1 scenarios. In order to boost a level 50, you will have to have a level 100 with about, what, like 600-700 rank, you know, boosting you up. Which is, you know, kind of hard. But in order to boost a level 1 or a level 10, all you need to have is like a level 30 warlord or a level 50 overlord. You know, it's very easy to boost low levels. Basically, after all those boosters came about, I started PvPing on my life, who you guys now know as Cody Moonblade. And during all this time, Angel stayed #1 legit, like highest legit ranking duelist who didn't boost. Angel stayed legit during this whole time. But I started doing live PvP at level 50, and the way I learned live PvP was I went up to the highest ranking live duelist and I asked him, "Yo, can you teach me?" You know, a big part of, you know, learning to be the best in PvP is just humble yourself down. Humble yourself down, okay? I was previously a former #1 ranked duelist in the entire game on my death, and yet when I was doing level 50 live PvP, I knew that I didn't have as much experience and knowledge about live PvP. So I humbled the fuck down and I went to the highest ranking life grandmasters and I said, "Yo, you know, teach me how to PvP," you know, and they taught me how to PvP and I learned a lot. You know, nowadays I give random duelists advice and they're just so arrogant, you know, they start talking trash like, "Who the fuck do you think you are to give me advice?" So I started PvPing on my level 50 life and eventually I passed Angel to become the highest legit ranking duelist in game with 3,200 rank on my life, Cody Moonblade. Now again, I was only highest legit ranking duelist for maybe like a day before, you know, he surpassed me again. Basically, that's what happened. And now skip all the way to today where a guy named Richard is basically have like 10 characters all in the top 10 spot on the leaderboards. I'm pretty sure they're all the same person. I think they're all Richard's character. Like his original character was Richard Rose. And I have a funny story. Like at the beginning of 3rd Age PvP, I thought that he was legit. Like he was one of the top ranked duelists as a level 60 death. He had about 2,600, 2,700 rank. I thought he was legit. So as a fellow death, I added him. We were friends. I was like, "Yo man, like share some of your secrets. Like what's your strategy for death PvP?" And he literally told me, "I don't have a strategy." But now that I know that he's been a booster all along, okay, that makes sense. But at the time I was like, what the fuck? How do you not have a strategy? But now I know better. So yeah, skipped it today where that Richard kid is basically boosted 10 characters to the top 10 spots of the leaderboard. It's really ridiculous, but it's kind of funny at the same time. So there you guys have it, guys. That is the story on boosting. If you did enjoy this story time, then you can subscribe to my in real life channel where I do videos of pranks, I do story time, vlogs, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you just go on YouTube and search Love Your Hands, no space, it'll pop up, the channel will pop up first. I'll also leave the link in the description so you can subscribe to my in real life channel. Again, if you enjoyed this story time video and you learned something and you want to give back, then feel free to subscribe to my in real life channel. Thanks for watching, and there will be at least 1 or 2 more storytime videos coming up after this. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Peace.